the whole. So if you were to compare, say, metaphorically speaking, so we said God was an ocean, it would be a little drop of the ocean. So a drop kind of the ocean. If we said God was a great fire, it would be a little spark of the fire. And if we said God was a gold mine, it would be a little speck of that gold mine. So you get the idea that we are just this tiny thing, but we think we are God sometimes, because same quality. And in terms of quality, God is Sat, Chit and Anand. And we are also in quality Sat, Chit, Anand. Our problem is we want to be Sat, Chit, Anand in this body, which is of inferior energy. We cannot be Sat, Chit, Anand in this inferior body. This is where the problem lies. So Sat means eternal, Chit means full of knowledge, and Anand means joyfulness, right? But how can you have Sat, Chit, Anand in this material body which dies? So it's not Sat, it's not eternal. It dies, it will not be eternal. It has a start and a finish date. And as far as knowledge is concerned, how much knowledge do we have? Really don't have much knowledge. We forget what we had yesterday, and our memory is so poor, we really don't have knowledge much about anything. If we had so much knowledge, you need to go to school and universities. No, we don't even know who we are. We think we are this body or mind. And we don't know who God is. Nobody really understands God, right? We've got so many different religions. Some think, God is a light, something is impersonal, some people think we are God, like the Mayavadis. And then some think God is a male, in a monotheism. They think he's a male dominant figure. And other thing is there's many gods, polytheism. And like we have so many devtas, we think, they're all God. And then you have like the Romans, they think there's so many gods, right? There's the god of war, Mars, god of love, Venus, god of victory, Victoria. So like that, there's so many gods to these people. But Srila Prabhupada taught us that we believe in by monotheism, which means Radha, Krishna, Sitaram, and Lakshmi Narayan. That's what, so God is manifested in a female form and a male form. Does that make more sense, right? Compared to, God is male and somebody said, no, God is female, girl power and all that. But he's male and female, so he just stopped the argument altogether. He's male and female. And he's polymorphic as well, which means he can take any shape. He can become a fish, tortoise, half man, half lion, can be anything. Now then you can believe that is God. Why should God be limited to anything? He doesn't have to be limited. He can be anything he wants. He still remains God. It doesn't become a tortoise. It doesn't mean now he just only has the qualities of a tortoise, right? He can be anything. So it's like that. So, we have this issue that we really don't understand, and we need somebody like Srila Prabhupada to explain to us that what the reality is. And in fact, if you think about it, that we have this poor energy, or inferior energy, and we have this, the spirit soul as the superior energy. So it takes two energies. We have two types of energies to animate us, to make us work, isn't it? Because as soon as the soul leaves, what is left? Just a shell, right? That shell which no longer moves, your nails won't grow, your hair won't grow, your body will just decay because it has no immunity left. You need to get rid of that body. So without the superior energy, the inferior energy is really not really any good anymore. But the funniest thing is that we consider matter, the gross body is matter, and the soul is antimatter. The scientists always talk about antimatter, right? I'm sure Sushil Prabhu is probably into all this cosmology and all that, right? So, in fact, matter and antimatter are not supposed to mix. they're supposed to cancel each other out or explode. If you mix antimatter with matter, it should just blow up. But we as the body, as a matter, has antimatter that makes us move. How wonderful is that? So what do you think makes the antimatter stable in this matter body? Anybody?
What is the question?
The question is, this body is matter, it's made of matter, gross elements. The soul is antimatter, right? So how, they're not supposed to mix scientifically, they're not supposed to mix. So how do they mix?
Because we have a super soul in us, the Paramatma.
Super soul? Can you please give it a clap? Wonderful, wonderful. Absolutely. It's the super soul who makes that work. Otherwise it would not work. So when the super soul leaves, the soul has to leave as well. It would not work without the super soul. So we have a gross body, considering 8 elements that we discussed, and then we have the superior energy, the soul, and then we also have the super soul there, who's with us life after life, body after body. It doesn't matter what kind of body you have, right? He doesn't pick and choose. He's with us, with the soul. He's there. The soul remains the same. The shape of the body might be different. The consciousness might be different. But he's with us all the time with the body, waiting for us to understand our reality. So, this is a situation now that we are in this body, and we really don't know, what's going on. And so what happens is that Sri Prabhupada explains that the problem is that we are a marginal energy. We are superior energy, but at the same time we are marginal energy, which means we have a choice. Do we want to go to Maya or do we want to go to Krishna? We have that choice. Otherwise, if Krishna forced us that, we must worship him, then what kind of God is he? He's not a dominating God that he forces to serve him. He's given us a choice. You can serve me, you serve Maya. We must serve somebody. That's our constitutional position, to serve. It's not like, why do we have to be servants of Krishna, or why do we have to serve? We are servants. Whether we like it or not, we are servants. Because we are small speck. We are servants. Serve Krishna, serve Maya, serve the wife, serve the senses, serve the country, serve whoever. But you must serve. You have to serve. There's no other two ways. You can serve the body. Some people are really bodily minded. They always like advertising, this for the body and this. Now they got perseverance for the whole body. It's like nonsense going on. Body, just like, we should look after our body, it's not a problem. But obsession with the body, we're serving. If you're obsessed with the body, we're serving the body all the time. What we should eat, what we should wear, how we should look. So we are always serving someone, whether we like it or not. Now, it says that we are actually in this body, the living Sarva Bhutani Yantra Arudani Mayaya. So Sarva Bhutani Yantra Arudani Mayaya. So this body, Sarva Bhutani is the living entities. Yantra is the body. This body is like a machine, like a car. The cars are parked outside. Well, I know things will change, but at the moment, those cars cannot work on their own. Somebody has to sit in there and drive them. So this Atma is like the driver that drives this Arudani or Yantra, right? Mayaya, Arudani, Mayaya. So we are seated on this machine-like body conditioned by Maya. Krishna tells us in Bhagavad-Gita that we are sitting and controlled by Maya. And we chose that. We want to be serving Maya. So we decided to do that. So, this is where the problem is. And why did we want to be controlled by Maya? Or why do we choose Maya rather than Krishna? It's because we want to control and enjoy without Krishna, right? We cannot, we want, say we're in the spiritual world and we wanted to control and enjoy there. Krishna can't allow that. It says there's only one controller, enjoy here. There's only one Purusha up there. Nobody else can push. If you want to enjoy, then I'll give you a separate, get you a separate building or whatever, you can go live there. And this is what is built for us. So you can enjoy, you can control and enjoy up there. Because it says actually Lord Brahma tells the Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satinanda Vigraha, Anadiyali Govinda, Sarva Karan Karanam. He says Ishvara. Ishvara means supreme controller. There's only one supreme controller, and that's Krishna. But we want to be controller as well, right? And thing is, we get that habit from our Supreme Father, because He is enjoyer and controller. We have this natural tendency to control and to enjoy. That quality actually comes from Krishna Himself. But we try to compete with Him. This is the problem, right? We cannot. As far as control is concerned, we try to control things, don't we? We love to control people, micromanage them, do this way. We like to control. And we even try to control God sometimes. We ask Him for things all the time. Right now we're learning that don't ask, just serve Him and you'll get everything anyway. But we try to control God by being, Srila Prabhupada explains that we think He's our order supplier. God give me this, God give me that, get me a car, get me a nice wife, I want children, and I want a nice house. We're always asking God for things. We try to control Him. But that really is not on, that's not the right thing to do. And what about enjoyment? Now we love to enjoy, right? We all want to enjoy. The irony is, we don't have the capacity to enjoy. This is the problem. We want to enjoy. It's bhogya, tyagya, bhoga, tyagya, bhoga, tyagya. We can enjoy, but then we have to renounce for a bit as well. We cannot continuously enjoy. We don't have the capacity. Give you an example, like Christmas period coming up now. We will enjoy, right? Diwali just gone, we'll enjoy. And then when you take a break, we cannot continuously enjoy. Right? So what happens, the gyms are really busy January, February, because everybody joining gyms because they had so much food and drink, they need to go and burn it off. So we don't have the capacity to enjoy, but yet we think we are the enjoyers. We cannot enjoy like Krishna can. We don't have the capacity. And there's a very, very big example, that just gone last Wednesday. Govardhan Puja, right? Indra, who's the king of heaven, and he's in a place, he's there like for a very long time in heaven. We people strive to go to heaven. He's there. He's the king of all the demigods. He's got heavenly denizens there, the damsels, and he's got. Nandana gardens there, and he's got somras, so many things to enjoy. Surabhi cows, kalpavriksha, desire fulfilling trees. Everything that person can ask is there. Shouldn't be complaining about anything. He's got everything he wants, is there in abundance, and for many, many years. So what happens? Even though he's got everything a person, a living entity could desire, everything. What happens? The Vrajvasis don't worship him at one time. He gets all crazy about it. He orders his Samvartaka clouds, go and kill the Vrajvasis, throwing torrents of rain, throwing torrents of ice, trying to kill them. He's at the height of height of enjoyment, there really is not a reason to complain. I mean, we do that as well, but we don't have his height of bhogya. But sometimes, at home, you might think we got everything, but yet we need more. And this was same with Indra. He got everything. But why these Vrajvasis did not worship me on this occasion? Although, if he had kept his sanity, they might have worshipped him at some point, right? They might have worshipped him at some point. But just like Krishna said, look, this time, on this occasion, let's worship Govardhan because he's given us so many things. Indra is doing this because that's his duty, right? But Govardhan, out of his love, he's given us so many things. But anyway, Krishna saved them with his, the biggest umbrella you can imagine, picking up a Govardhan. He saved the Vrajvasis, and obviously Indra, as always, realized his mistake and put things. Well, he apologized, basically. But these things happen, But the point is, doesn't matter how much more enjoyment you have, you will still want more enjoyment. Now we have to realize that we are really not the energetic. We are the energy of the Lord. This is where we go wrong. We think we are the energetic. We're not. We are the energy of the Lord. This is what Srila Prabhupada is explaining in the report. That we are the energy. We are controlled by the energetic. We belong to the energetic. And we cannot be independent of the energetic. This is the thing. So we have to remember that we are not the energetic. Our energy, we are just the energy of the energetic. Right? We're just a small speck, marginal energy, so many names for it, Parashakti, whatever you want to call it, superior energy, but we're not God. We are just an energy of many energies. And in fact, we are controlled by material energy. This is the thing. The material energy can't control us. So, how great are we? Not really. We're not that great. Okay. So, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that these living entities, they are maintaining, the material creation. So, if we misunderstood that, we'll be like, wow, we're the ones who maintaining this creation. But it's actually sarcasm. We're not really maintaining anything. Are we making the sunshine and the rains come? Then we could pick and choose. Have a vote, and is it going to sunshine today or is it going to rain? But we can't do that. We have no control over anything. So we are not running this material creation. Srila Prabhupada explains in his class that it's like saying the prison is run by the prisoners. If the prison is run by the prisoners, then why are they locked in there? This is not run by the prisoners. What he's really saying is that if there was no prisoners, there would not be need for the prison. Same with this world. If we weren't foolish to be attracted to material energy, there would not be need for this material creation. Now this material creation is manifested, is destroyed, manifested, destroyed. It would not need to be manifested again, created again, if there was nobody to send here, isn't it? There would be any need. So we are actually prisoners. We're not the one who's running it. We are actually stuck in this material creation, and we need to get out of this. One thing we are doing, we're not running the prison, but one thing we are doing is exploiting the prison. We are exploiting the elements of this material creation on this earth. We are exploiting it. But one of the things is we're exploiting it. Sometimes we don't even realize we're exploiting it. Because things are coming from so far away and changing so many hands, distributors, suppliers, retailers. We don't really know where those things came from or what happened to bring us those goods. Who was exploited? We don't know. We take it for granted. Although we're becoming conscious now about exploitation, because we see the labels. This product comes from sustainable sources, or no child labor was used in manufacturing this product like that. So, we're understanding. Srila Prabhupada says, you have to be conscious. Now we're becoming conscious. You have to be conscious before you can become Krishna conscious. This is the thing. And we are becoming conscious. I mean, people lobbying against protesting because the people wearing fur and animal skin, animal fur, animal skin, elephant tusks, like that. People are really into all this stuff, but they don't realize that something had to be sacrificed for you to have this product. We take it for granted, like that. So we have to be very careful, that we're definitely not maintaining this creation, but we shouldn't exploit it really either. That's very important. Now, the question may come that if we are not the enjoyers, we're not the controllers, and from what we discussed so far, that Krishna is the real supreme controller, is Ishvara, he's the supreme controller. Then whatever we do, if he's controlling everything, and he's the super soul in our body, he's controlling everything, then why do we, why do somebody says, oh, you did this wrong, or this is right? Krishna is controlling everything. So, why should we get the blame? He should get blamed because he decides what's right and wrong. We're not deciding, are we? Are we? Are we deciding whether I'm doing this right or wrong?
Someday.
Yeah, because we have a choice. We have a choice to do things. It's like, say we're living in this country, and we say this is a free country, I don't mean free and like you're gonna pick up stuff from the shop or something, Free country like freedom of speech, freedom of activity. Now, you have freedom of speech like that and freedom of activity, and you can do as long as you don't break the law. If the law is not broken, the police won't come out and say, sorry, no law is broken, we cannot come out. So you can do things. But if you break the law, then police will come and arrest you. So it's like that. So you have freedom, but it's conditioned. There's a condition to it. It's controlled freedom, right? And same with God. He lets you do, to an extent, what you want to do. Let you make your choices. But this law of karma, that's God's law. So, if you do good things, then you get rewarded. If you do bad things, then you get punished. So just like the government has conditions, Krishna has conditions as well. And then our choices are controlled by so many other things, right? So low karma is controlling us. And we also control what decisions we make are controlled by our previous karma as well. What our situation is. If you are a multimillionaire, your choices will be different to somebody who's just making a living, right? Or what you become in your life will be based on your situation. Were you born with a silver spoon, golden spoon, or a stainless steel spoon in your mouth? So it's based on your status quo. What situation that you are in. What your limitations are. So, our decisions are controlled by that as well. And then we're also controlled by the three modes of nature. So we're not liberated, we're not free to make decisions. We are all controlled by the three modes of nature. And I don't want to go too much into that because that will be like separate class on its own. But you have goodness, passion, and ignorance. So people in goodness are deep thinkers. And they try not to commit crime or sins, because they understand things. So this is why they're always acquiring knowledge and they're looking for happiness. The happiness comes from the fact that they don't try not to commit too much sin or break the law. They understand, right? These people in goodness. Passion people, they really go out of the way to enjoy, work hard, play hard. So their decisions are based on those things. Sometimes they might go the wrong way, they might commit a crime or a sin because they're so passionate about achievements or prestige. They want stuff all the time, there's too much energy going on. And then everybody understands ignorance, that it's just lazy, sleepy, addictive quality. So for that person, their decision is based on that mode. You see, again, we're not free. All our decisions are based on our situation. And that's how we're free. But we still have a choice. Wherever you are, you still have a choice according to where you are. Where you start. That's the only choice you have. But wherever you are on the hierarchy, you can make your choices. Krishna does not bound, you have to do it this way. You can do anywhere. We can actually move from the mode of ignorance to the mode of goodness, which we are all trying to do right now. Making choices that are in mode of goodness. We're learning what is mode of goodness, what kind of choices we should make, so we can move into the mode of goodness. And then further, there's things like Jati Dharma, Kul Dharma, and then we have a Sanatan Dharma. We are also bound by the Dharma we belong to. What kind of Varnashrama we belong to? Brahman, Kshatriya, like that, Vaishya. Like Prabhu says sometimes that I'm always thinking in the business mode, right? Focused. So, businessman will always has that filter, seeing everything from the business point of view. Or Brahman will see things from the Brahmanical point of view. And Kshatriya like that. So, we have our conditioning. So we think about things like that. Or if you're a Gresta, you'll see things from a Gresta's point of view. If you are a bachelor, you see things from a bachelor's point of view. So we are bound by so many things. This is why we do not make choices, or decisions without these restrictions. There are restrictions there. So, Srila Prabhupada explains that we need to liberate ourselves, right? That's the final thing. We need to liberate. So I'll explain all these things that we are bound by and what we are, but what we think we are about what we are in reality, right? So we've been through that. Now Srila Prabhupada explains that we can actually liberate ourselves. To liberate ourselves, we have to surrender to Krishna. And there's an example that Srila Prabhupada gives, that when he was in New York, a policeman asked him, Prabhupada was in his robes as sannyasi and everything. They asked him, so what do you have to give up to join your group? What do you have to give up? And Prabhupada, as always, smart answers. He said, you have to give up suffering. He said, what do you give up? He said, we give up suffering. That's all we're giving up, suffering. So the policeman, he was like, wow, you have to give up suffering? Yes. And how do we give up suffering? He said, we have 4 conditions. No illicit relationships, no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication. You give those up, you give up suffering. And you're probably thinking, well, what does that mean? Because what happens, we're always complaining, especially this is now Kartik month or Bishop Panchak's coming. So many restrictions. Prabhupada, why did you do this to us? So many restrictions. No onion and garlic. We can't even go to a party. People say, come to a party, we'll cook vegetarian food for you. Now, by the way, there's no onion garlic. Oh, okay, we better not come then. Too much trouble. They can't. It's hard enough trying to make vegetarian food, then on top of that, no onion garlic, so many problems. So we see that as a restriction to us. But Srila Prabhupada explains that I'm not restricting you, I'm restricting Maya. This is not restriction for us. It's a message to Maya that don't approach my devotees. So that those restrictions are to stop Maya bombarding us. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Because all these things, they're nonsense, right? Alcohol drinking, smoking, it's nonsense. Right? Gambling, it's nonsense. Illicit relationships, finished. It's crazy. But people get into that. You read in the papers all the time. Big, people are up there. As soon as they found out they've been up to no good, straight down. only way is down for them. And they're still investigating them even more. Happen every time, so many names. And then the other connections come, another names will come with them. Oh, he's connected, she's connected. Oh, they accepted this from him, or sending this message. So many things, it's like chaos. So let's give it up, these things. Now, let's not even think about them, because it is madness. If you want to go back home to Godhead, get out of this, follow Prabhupada. This is a perfect way to follow life in the mode of goodness, is to give up these four things, follow the four regulations. And in fact, it says in the scriptures that these four things are sinful activities. So you accruing sinful reactions, which will either get soon or later, you will get reactions for these things. So get out. And really put Krishna in the center of your lives. That's what you need to do. And there's an example, like Prabhupada says that when you eat a lot of stuff that's made out of milk, you will get a bad stomach. But then if you eat yogurt, which is also made of milk, it'll fix your problem. It doesn't make any sense. Milk already caused me problems, and I'm taking more milk in the form of yogurt, and I'll be okay. So that's what we're doing. We can still do not the four things I mentioned earlier, but other things we can do as long as we do them through Krishna. That's what it means by putting Krishna in the center. For example, when we're eating, you offer that food to Krishna, Bhoga, and eat it as prasad, as his mercy. That's what you're going to do. So you're still eating, still enjoying the food, but you go through Krishna and enjoy it as like, oh, this is Krishna prasad. Not like, oh, this is lovely, tasty, yum food. But it is like, oh, this is so tasty because Krishna took a taste bite out of this, like that. And again, we also have the Maha Mantra. Why are we chanting? Excuse me. Maha Mantra is so powerful for this age. It will get you out of the cycle of birth and death. It will purify your nonsense desires. It will take care of your, all the previous reactions. How much more can you sell this? Right? It will give you love of God. We won't give you love of God. It's already there. It will awaken the love of God. All you got to do is chant every day. Nothing much to it. Here's your Bhagavatam, purifying. We have 9 types of devotion service. Do those services, and you will purify it. You'll get rid of reactions, and you can go back to Godhead, and you can get out of all this cycle of birth and death, and you can have a relationship with Krishna just by following these simple things. You don't have to go to the forest for 60,000 years and some Menika turns up and disturbs your bhakti and then you're back again. That was no good. Which one to spend like 30,000 years and disturbed by one woman, and then he has to go back and do another 30,000 years like that. He was obviously doing something wrong, because it didn't work for him. Whereas devotees like Haridas Thakur, in one small lifetime, he is chanting, not interested in anything, right? Just only Krishna. So if he's spending 30,000 years trying to control the senses, and it hasn't worked, and obviously it's not the right process. But then he did do 30,000 years and managed to get out of that predicament. So do the service, and also be grateful. Be grateful to Krishna. Be thankful. We don't always thank Krishna enough. You should be thankful to him for giving us your path, giving us everything, giving us his body. And there's an example that there was like a millionaire person, and he had some problem with God. He was complaining until he saw a poor guy trying to find food in the dustbins. And he says, thank you, God, that I'm not poor like this person. He realized that I have got something better. And the poor man, he's searching for food. He sees a bad man. He says, thank you, God, at least I still have my sanity. And the madman, is doing all crazy stuff. And he has an ambulance coming past, and somebody just had an accident. He sees an ambulance, rushing this person, and he suddenly comes to his senses. He says, "Oh my God, thank you God, I'm not in that ambulance. That I'm not involved in any accident or anything." So he thanks God. So the rich man's thanking God, the poor man's thanking God, the madman's now thanking God, and the guy in the ambulance, when he gets to the hospital, he sees this body, corpse, come past him. He goes, "Thank you God, I'm still alive." So we can all thank God. Apart from the guy in the corpse, he can't thank God anymore. So while we're still alive, we should thank God for what we have. If we think, we keep looking what other people have, then you can never be satisfied. You always be like wondering and be thankless and waste your, this life. So be always thankful, have the attitude of gratitude, and follow your sadhana strong way, especially in this month of Kartik. We're more than halfway through, and whatever you do in this month is multiplied by 1,000 times. Krishna gives the opportunity to improve yourselves, and he gives it to people who have not started the bhakti to start their bhakti in this month. So we should really take advantage of that. So that's your solution. So we are the energy. Don't follow Maya, follow Krishna, because we have to follow someone. We have to serve someone, serve Krishna rather than Maya, for the reasons I just gave you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.